How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the channel again. So this is right after I ran the Tamiya TGSR. If you guys watched the video before this, you will see how nice this thing ran. This thing ran the entire tank of fuel out of it without cutting off once, for the first time since I've had this in 2 years. So it's been a long time coming. A lot of work, a lot of hours has gone into this. If you guys been watching this from the beginning, you can understand how much time I put into this, because it doesn't just start working by itself. You know what I'm saying, guys? So we started off with a completely messed up carburetor, where the carburetor itself, the barrel was in upside down. It wasn't even in the slot for the idle gap screw, so the idle gap screw was doing nothing. So yeah, also, if you guys watched the last video, I did not end the video. I went out there with my phone and I didn't realize my phone was already on low power when I started the video. So I don't even know if the video was at full quality or not, because it was in low power mode the whole time that I was filming. So yeah, guys, maybe we'll get this thing back out there again and do some more driving. But before we do that, if you guys remember, we had the problem where the wheels kept flying off. Now if you check this out, there's like just this little mark right there. Nothing on this one, I believe, or maybe very minimal. So I did a good job of keeping the wheels on there for the most part. There's a few little marks. Some of this was already there, like that red, the little mark on the red there and there. So they aren't in immaculate condition to start with. They weren't, I mean, they were pretty immaculate, but I think we should glue these wheels to the rims tonight, just for the heck of it. Let's make a little video gluing these wheels down, and then we'll run these wheels, because I actually like the way it was handling with these wheels. And I like the way, if you look at it from this side, you have the blue here, you have the blue on the rim, you have the blue cooling head, you have the blue going across over there. So kind of, let me back it up a little bit. It actually looks pretty freaking awesome sitting on the desk right there, to be honest with you. It looks pretty freaking sharp. It definitely does. So we did incur a little bit of damage. So now this is a runner. No, I'm just kidding, but it is a shelf queen / runner. I can repair that with a little bit of epoxy. So she's not in bad shape. There were some big pieces of gravel out there in the parking lot. I gotta check that parking lot better next time I go back. But I don't know if you guys can tell, this is like my smoothest on-road car I have, because my other two on-road cars are technically belt driven. This is a shaft drive car, and the shafts in this car are plastic, and they're extremely precision made, because you guys can see, I could just like, this thing rolls better than Hot Wheels. How about that? I could like quote that. This rolls better than a Hot Wheels. How about that? I'm rolling it into the other car, otherwise it would really be rolling good. It's like a very smooth drivetrain. You know what I'm saying, guys? So this overall is my favorite RC car at this point, I would have to say. With the way this ran today, I'm extremely happy with this car. So I figured, let me just make this video real quick, at least hopefully real quick, and we'll glue these tires on, which I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys right now. I am a complete amateur at gluing tires. Maybe I have re-glued tires, but I've never actually glued an entire set of tires before. So I drove on these already today. so they're not mint tread anymore. So we will glue them down now, and we're gonna run these babies. How about that? This is now my favorite RC car to run, guys. This is like, and it's a classic ABN style engine. It's not like a newer style like the Losis down there. I could easily take a Losi and make it run like a top any day of the week. 7 days a week, I could take a Losi and tune that baby in to a single stage idle with that cheap dynamite motor. Those things are freaking solid, guys. Those things are solid. So let's have some fun, and let's call it fun as we get our fingers all stuck to super glue as we're trying to glue these rims down. So I'm actually gonna get some gloves, to be honest with you guys, because I know sometimes when I'm trying to fix wheels on RC cars that have wheels but they're kind of coming off, I know that when I do that, sometimes you end up getting some glue on your fingers, and your fingers are stuck with super glue and pieces of rubber for days, and it's not really fun. So we're gonna do the right thing and put some gloves on, so hopefully my actual finger doesn't get super glue on it and get stuck to the tire or something like that, because I don't have no tire glue, and I've never had a problem using super glue for tire glue. So never had a tire come off after I put super glue on the wheels. I've never had a wheel come off. Maybe I'm not running 8S or something, but never had a wheel come off after I super glued it on. So I actually have no clue what I'm doing or how to start. I have so much space to work on these wheels, I might just leave them on the car. So what I'm gonna do is start gluing, and hopefully that doesn't happen. You guys seen what just happened? I opened a tube and a whole bunch just came out. So I actually don't have any paper towels in here, so I'll just use this super glue package to rub some off on real quick here. So, because I don't want to make a mess of this, I kind of don't want to get any on the face of the rim. Just want to start. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So if I do make a mess of this, I want to say right now, sorry guys, if you guys know how to do this better. There's no glue coming out of this thing. I've been squeezing this tube for a week. I think this one's empty. This is dollar store glue. Look, I squeezed this whole thing out, and there's no glue in this wheel yet. I still got no glue coming out. I emptied this whole tube. Look, I got one little drop out of the whole super glue. I don't know, guys. They're getting a little chintzy. That's a little chintzier than it used to be. All right, we got a little bit of glue coming out now. They're getting cheap, guys. They're getting cheap, man. You go to the dollar store, get super glue. You think, oh yeah, I'll just give me some super glue from the dollar store. I ain't gotta pay a whole bunch of money for some fancy tire glue. Freaking give you empty tubes. I gotta put a little bit less on because it's starting to squeeze out from around the tire. So I'm kind of putting it on a little heavier than I'm supposed to be, I guess. But this is technically my first time actually gluing a set. I don't think we're gonna get more than one tire per tube, to be honest with you. We'll see how it keeps coming out. You guys see how my finger just got stuck there? Now that happens all the time. If you don't have gloves on, that'll be like your skin, and then your skin will be like coming off, stuck to the rim. So try to wear gloves if you're an amateur like me, you don't know what the heck you're doing. Like, you see how much glue I have coming out? So these rims are destroyed now. It's all right though. We're learning there. not destroyed, but you guys know what I mean. I'm exaggerating. You guys see what I'm saying? We got a little bit, I kind of went a little heavy when I first put this on here, so I got to sacrifice one of these microfibers, which I don't want to do, but I ain't got no paper towels on here. You see how my finger stuck to that? Now, if I didn't have this freaking glove on, that'd be my finger. So I'm trying to not make a mess of this shit, and guess what, guys? We're still making a mess of it, so I am no professional by any means. So what I'm gonna do is just go around wiping it off. This appears to actually be working very well. And guess what? I didn't look up any videos on this whatsoever. I'm just like winging it, guys. Take a look at that wheel. Looks pretty good to me. We're gonna let the outside dry, and we'll go work on the next wheel, and we'll see what kind of mess we can make on this one. How about that? So I hope you guys all enjoyed the running video, because that was actually very very pleasing, to be honest with you guys. I bought this nitro in December. It'll be like 2 years ago at least that I bought this nitro, and every single time I've run it, it shut off, overheated. I had no clue what was going on. Then people started leaving comments on what kind of motor it was, then that I was running the wrong kind of fuel in that type of motor. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to the people that helped me out to getting it running good, because pretty much, I will admit, without your help, I probably wouldn't know any better, and I would have blown this thing up already. I probably would have leaned it out and said, you know what, you don't want to run good, I'll just send you to RC heaven. So thank you for the help in the comment section. I'm sure somebody's out there watching me glue these wheels going, Jesus Christ, he's making a freaking mess. And you're probably right. But hey, at least I'm trying here, guys. Like, look at this. Like, if I had not had these gloves on, my finger would be all stuck to the wheel and stuff. I'm probably scratching the hell out of the other wheels by having them up on the edge like that. So this seems to work pretty good for removing the super glue, believe it or not. Just having one of these microfibers. And I'm just figuring this out just by doing it. I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. Trust me. But I will try. I just got like common sense, you know what I'm saying? So if you get some glue on the outside, try to wipe it off, that's all. Or try not to get the glue there in the first place. But sometimes stuff happens. And those two outside wheels are done, the outsides to them. So let's do these two outside edges. This one got a little bit of this is the wheel that come flying off and rolled. They rolled like I want to say 50 to 100 feet across the parking lot. And we got two wheels out of one tube of glue, guys. That was the chintziest tube of glue we ever seen. So I'm going to try to use a little more because I'm a cheap ass. There's a little bit coming out. All right, this is getting a little hard to push on, so stop being that cheap. We need, apparently you need 2 bottles of this to do what we're doing. This thing's got like high pressure in there, so I'm wondering if that's why the glue comes shooting out last time. We probably lost all of our glue right off the startup over there. So see if we can get the glue to be down and lose some of this pressure out of here. Like, let's see how much we have to squeeze this before anything comes out. So far, nothing. That's one fold. So let's fold it again. This is two folds. Nothing. Look, guys, nothing is coming out. So if you guys see this stuff in the store, don't think the tubes are full. You're probably better off buying the ones this size and they will be full. That's been my experience, at least. It looks like we may have some glue coming out now. Let's see. How much of a tube do we have left? Less than half the tube. Nothing. Nothing. Look at this size of this tube. And I got no glue coming out. Do you guys understand this? No glue is coming out. Look. Look. This thing's about to be the size of a fucking pinhead. Oh, there it goes. Oh, look. Look how big the tube is. That's how much glue we got. I'm sitting there thinking, oh yeah, I got 4 big tubes of super glue. This is great. Yeah, I got a great deal. Yeah, look at you, dummy. You got the deal of the... They got the deal on me. I paid $1/4 for this. Super, look at that piece of the glove stuck to the tire. So now I gotta get another glove. Good thing I had that glove on. You see what I'm saying happens? Your finger just, if that was your skin, imagine that's your skin stuck to the tire right there. How about that? You guys like gluing your tires with no gloves on, huh? Stick your fingers to the tires. I'll keep my fingers. How about that? How about them apples, guys? Let me turn this other light on over here. Get some more light in here. Turn this light on too. Hold on. So I hope you guys are all having a good day. I hope you all enjoyed the last video. Because I came home, I was like, yeah, I want to try this thing. Shoot, I might come home tomorrow and run this again. Depending how I feel, we might run this again. I got to check that parking lot though. That thing got some big boulders out there floating around. So now we just keep right on going past the piece of my would-be finger stuck to the wheel. We'll peel that off later, like after the wheel's all dried to the rim. Then we'll come back in and peel that off or something. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I already told you guys that. I just put too much glue in one spot, so that's all gonna ooze out in a second. Don't worry about that. We're gonna pretend we didn't see that. Okay? We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. We're just gonna keep right on going. No clue what the hell I'm doing. Just look at that. Another hole. Just oozing super glue into the wheel. I lost 2 pieces of glove on the same wheel, man. It's because I'm going too slow. So what's happening is the glue is starting to dry before I'm getting around the wheel. So I got to start picking up the pace a little bit. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so I'm trying to do a good job and not put too much on. So I'm trying to take my time here, and I keep gluing myself to the wheel. So this is a pair of gloves number 3. So I hope you guys are enjoying the comedy hour of the finger being stuck to the wheel all night. I'll call this video "Finger Stuck to Wheel." How about that? We'll rename this video "Finger Gets Stuck to Wheel." Imagine if that was my real skin. You guys see why I'm wearing a freaking glove now? I gotta keep the glove out of the wheel though. That's the problem. It's like not on all the way, so it keeps like flopping into the groove there, guys. See how I just got some on there by putting it down in there? You gotta kind of hold it back a little bit. Okay. Well, that's the messiest looking wheel I ever seen in my whole life. How about that, guys? That's the messiest looking job you ever seen? Definitely is for me. Well, that was fun. This is what happens when you glue your wheels down on camera. How about that? This is what freaking happens, guys. So now, for sure, next time we go out, we could kind of throw it around a little bit more. It actually handles freaking, look how smooth those diffs are, guys. Like, this company was like ahead of its time. And this engine, if I'll go in the house and I'll get the box next time that we're out here at some point, and I will show you that this engine is made in coordination with OS. So this is technically an OS engine. It's called an FS because it's the Tamiya line. So they didn't want to like say it's an OS. So it's an FS12, I believe. And I don't know if you guys seen how extremely fuel efficient that thing was. But after the video ended, that thing still ran for like another few minutes before it shut off. There was like, it was just sipping fuel out of the fuel lines, like running off of fumes, as they say. It was running off the exhaust fumes that were from the rich mixture was going into the exhaust and being back pressurized into the tank, and it was like reburning the fuel or something because the whole tank was empty and the thing was still running. So that was freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like I got like 30 minutes of runtime out of that little tiny fuel tank. Look at the size of that fuel tank, guys. Like, that's not a huge fuel tank. This is a 1/10 scale on-road from 2004. This thing does not have a huge fuel tank on it. It has a very tiny fuel tank. Like, if I was, I should see how many videos I could get out of the half a quart that I have left of the 16%. We're running this on 1616, and it's running like a freaking charm. So I'm just wondering how many tanks, how many minutes of runtime do you think this would get in this car right here? This is slightly less than half a jug, if you guys can see. Slightly less than half a jug. And how much runtime? Look at the size of the fuel tank compared to that jug. Like, I'd probably get like a few hours of runtime off of this just running this little car here. This is like a charm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, this thing is like a freaking awesome the way it is. Totally fuel efficient. Like, completely fuel efficient. Like, you guys seen the runtime. 1 tank of fuel. We were on a 25-minute video, and I had to have run it another few minutes at least 3-4 more minutes after the video ended. I was still driving that around. It must have like got a bubble in the fuel line that one time when it got lean for a second, but it continued to run good for the whole tank of fuel and not shut off once. It shut off when it was empty. So we just lost the air filter over here. How's that air filter looking? Look at that air filter. It's totally clean. Totally oiled up, homemade fuel filter. Air filter, I should say. Fuel filter. I'm freaking crazy. Anyways, I'm getting excited because I like this car. So now the pain in the ass part is the insides don't look like they're doable from being on the car. So we didn't even get, we're gonna have to use this whole pack of freaking glue to do these wheels, because we did 2 outsides of 2 wheels per tube so far. So this is getting crazy. It's only a $1 for the whole thing, but I'm just saying, you see how much how much glue is missing out of those tubes. So it's very deceiving. Like, you'll be thinking, oh yeah, do you guys see how loose that lug nut was? The whole wheel could have come off while we were freaking driving, guys. Because I didn't even, like I told you, I didn't even put these on here tight. So these were like a little tighter than finger tight just now. So yeah, we gotta watch it with that, I guess. But let's try to glue this down now. This is actually taking a lot longer than I thought it would. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, since we are now in the middle of tire gluing project. So yeah, guys, I really hope you guys like the running video, because I really enjoy driving this car. So you guys may be seeing this car a lot more, simply because such a nice runner, you know what I mean? Even though it's a vintage car, it's such a nice runner. You know, I want to run it, you know? So that's what we're going to end up doing. We're not going to run it right now this minute, because we just drove it today. So I don't want to mess with any of the tune. I actually did like a better job going around the inside than I did around all the freaking outsides, because I was like nervous doing the outsides for some reason. And the inside, I'm just like, boop, 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 boop. Look, perfect amount. I don't even have to wipe this off. I'm just gonna leave that like that. It's like perfect amount all the way around. So that's how we're gonna run them. We're just gonna super glue our wheels on for now, and we'll find out if it holds up. Because not only will we find out that we didn't get the right amount of super glue in our jugs here, we are now finding out if this glue is even any good. How about that? Like, these wheels don't even have, I mean, these lug nuts don't even have any Teflon in them. I don't know if I should put some Teflon on the bolts, but we're just going to tighten them up now, since it's a runner. I'm trying to put the wrench on and off as easy as possible to try to not mark these wheel lugs up, but we can't guarantee that they'll be perfect when we're done, because we do not want the wheel flying off. That's why we're gluing these tires on. And this side actually come out pretty nice. I mean, there's a little bit, you can see where I was wiping it around a little, but yeah, this side's not that great. Oh, it's still moving a little. There you go. So I should have got this, I don't know if you can see that, I should have got this a little closer to the rim. I also told you guys I've never done a whole set of wheels like this before, so I guess we run what we brung. It's not perfect. I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is. The tire's glued on there. It's definitely not coming off now, for sure. So this stuff does work as tire glue if you don't have tire glue, which I'm not. If I could get basically the same stuff for the dollar store, why would I buy tire glue? I mean, I'm sure somebody out there knows the difference, that it's probably good for the rubber or something like that, but I've never had a problem with this this super glue as tire glue. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. We're getting there now. So this thing ran absolutely freaking perfect. I don't think I touched the low speed whatsoever. I may have only adjusted the high speed. So the tune as a whole was 100% airtight, the tune. So look at that, another piece of glove, beautiful. Get over here. Trying to get that piece off, because that's in the freaking crack of the wheel. Whatever, it's on the inside. Alright. I'm trying to do it like this so it doesn't smear. This actually works much better if you like grab it and pull it in like this. Seems to get the glue off and not wipe it all over the face of the tire. That's what you're trying not to do. You're not trying to wipe it all over the face of the tire like I did over here, but maybe that'll wear off as you're driving or something. So yeah, guys, we got a totally awesome Tamiya here. And yeah, I love this thing. Now, tell you what, it's a lot better than the belt drive cars. Look how smooth that is. Look how smooth the drivetrain is. Nothing else is as smooth like that. None of these other cars are smooth like that. So you got a Tamiya TGSR that's in good shape you want to sell. Leave a comment down below or something, because I like these cars. And there's not many for sale ever. Trust me, I check all the time. I check all the time, guys. So if you post one up there for sale, I've probably seen it. And if I didn't see it, tell me about it so I can check it out. So looks like we got 2 wheels down, 2 more to go. Trying to be very easy when I like turn these bolts, because these are like very nice bolts, you know. So we're trying to keep our stuff nice if we can. That's why I kept stopping and putting the wheels back on, because I actually wasn't trying to destroy the rims, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to drive this thing, but I didn't want to destroy the rims. But if they got destroyed, I was just like, at this point, the amount of time I've had this car and haven't driven it, if it drove good and the wheels got a little messed up, then so be it. At least I know that the car was driving good, you know, because it's been a long time coming. If you guys been watching these videos leading up to the point that we can actually drive this thing normally, like a regular RC car. Like we could just take this thing out and tool it around just like when it was made. Like, not like so this tube seems to have a little bit more glue because we're on the 3rd wheel now, right? But anyways, yeah, that's been a long time coming, getting to the point that this car will run like this. And look at the nice job I did on this side. Like, look at the freaking nice job I did on this side, guys. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, getting to this point where the wheel, or the wheel, where the car actually runs decently. Because ever since I first drove this, I was running this on 30% because I didn't know any better. And I'm sure there is a lot of people out there that run their cars on 30, and they don't realize that it's actually not meant to be running on 30. Just because it's like race fuel. Yeah, it's race fuel for modern RC cars, not classic ABN style motors. So yeah, guys, just keep that in mind when you're running your stuff, not to put the wrong kind of nitro in there. So kind of out here in the shed tonight, and I was like, you know what, I was looking at this car and I'm like, we got to glue the wheels down this way. Next time we go to run this, we can just take it out and go. I had fully charged, this is running on fully charged AA Duracells, which, if you look at the AA rechargeables, these are only 1.2 volts, but it doesn't matter because it holds that voltage for like 2,500 milliamps per battery. And if you get a hump pack, it's 2,500 milliamps for the whole hump pack. So I have 4 hump packs worth of life in these batteries. So these batteries won't drop voltage for like 4 times as long as a hump pack. At least that's what it says on paper. So it doesn't say anything about hump packs on paper, but if you figure it out, if you look at the milliamp hours of a hump pack, and you look up the milliamp hours on your rechargeable AA's, Your rechargeable AA's, if you use 4 of them, will have 4 times the milliamps are your gas tank in your hump packs and your AA's. So that's how many milliamp hours each pack has. So if you add them up with the AA's, you end up with like 10,000 milliamp hours, which is 4 times the amount of hours on a hump pack. Now, I could be wrong. They might not last 4 times the time, but that's an experiment we have to figure out. I have to find out how to determine how many runs I can get out of 4 AA's. And I don't want to find out the hard way by running my nitro out of juice and having it turn into a runaway. So every time I do run my stuff, I fully charge them up before I go out each time. But in theory, I should be able to go out about 5 times or 4 times and not have to charge it up. So we're going to have to figure out how to test that out somehow. The only way I can think about how to test that out is this is already glued. Okay. So my daughter has a Team Associated 1/28 scale electric RC that it's a short course truck. I can show you the body. Just give me 1 second. And it takes it takes 4 AA's. Now, what I did in the past, when I was running in the past, is I would, and this is my point, the controller runs off 4 AA's, but the controller charges the car. The car's inside the house. This is actually a second body because I had 2 of them, but the one got destroyed at some point. So anyways, the car itself recharges off the controller, which I use the rechargeable AA's to power the controller, so I don't have to keep buying AA's to run this thing. So anyways, what I want to do is, this is the first time I took this out to run it on this charge. So what I want to do is I want to run it again, I think, for a second time on the same charge. Okay. Then take these out and install them in the controller for this, and charge this up and run it around till it goes flat, and charge it up and run it around until it goes flat, and see how many times I could run this around until it goes flat with the same batteries that I had in here. And we can see how many times we actually got to recharge and drive that car and until the batteries go flat. And then what we could do is we could fully charge these back up and install them in the remote and test how many times we get out of a fully charged set, how many charges and fully drains we get out of this car on a fully charged set. And we should be able to determine what percentage of the battery I used on those 2 runs compared to a fully charged set. And we should be able to figure out how to calculate what percentage of the battery was used and how much was left after 2 runs, and determine how many actual runs I will be able to get by doing some kind of math with that. And yeah, I could figure it out for sure by how many times this charges up off a full set compared to a used set that I used to run a few times. And somehow we should be able to calculate what percentage of the battery was left when I took them out of here and put them in here. And then we can determine how many runs we can actually get out of a set of batteries, and so forth. So that's what I want to figure out, is how much of the battery am I using by driving this car twice. Because if I'm only using, like, let's say 1 charge off of them on this, and I get 8 charges out of this off a set, because I do get like a lot of charges off a set of fully charged batteries on this little car. So if I can figure out how many charges running this knocks off each time I drive it, then I should be able to determine how many runs I can get out of a set before I have to charge them back up. Because I may be charging almost fully charged batteries back up every time I go out, because I don't know what percentage of them are left, if you guys understand what I'm saying. And the only way to determine how much is left on there is to do some kind of experiment where we can figure out how many runs we get on a fully set charged, and how many runs we get on a partially charged set of batteries. So we're going to do that at some point, and I will inform you guys on the actual results of that. We may I'll show you the car, and I'll show you the setup, and then I'll probably show you the results of those tests, because I would like to know what percentage of the batteries I'm using up when I am driving this thing, because I could potentially be charging up fully charged batteries. You guys know what I'm saying? Because the capacity is so much more than a hump pack, I might not be draining that much out of them, and then I'm fully charging them up just to make sure that they're fully charged up. This way this doesn't turn into a runaway. And I just don't want to unnecessarily fully charge these up all the time if it's potentially going to hurt the life of the battery, because it's a cycle. Because you went down and you went back up, you went down and you went back up. I want to get the maximum out of the cycles, if you guys know what I'm saying. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. You guys can see the wonderful results of my amateur glue job. This side is probably the worst because I got a piece of the glove stuck on here, but I'll get this off camera with something. But this side come out nice. So we got one really nice side. One side is a little bit of a glove stuck on here, but at least it's not my finger. So if it's your finger stuck on there, have fun with it. But I use gloves. So yeah, guys, until next time, thank you for joining me again. Appreciate all you guys. Let me put a cover back on this. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out the glue job we got here. So my first amateur set of tires glued on there. They don't look half bad. Even the worst looking one, I think after we drive it around and skid a few times and we get that off of there with some skids or something. So yeah, guys, until next time, I will see you guys. And this is my new favorite of all of the RCs, because I'm really honestly like an on-road guy. I bought the buggies because they were nice, and I actually was able to get them at the time, and they were new, so I knew they would tune good. But I got this because this is really what I had when I was younger, and I really like this one. So yeah, guys, until next time, I will see you guys in the next one, and appreciate all you guys tuning in, and enjoy the vid. And if you guys have any comments, leave them down below. And apologize about the video ended so short on the drive. Was not planned. Didn't realize the phone was on low power mode. I was kind of excited. I was like, yeah, I wasn't actually excited. I was kind of having like a little bit of a rough day. So I was like, you know what, let's go drive some nitro and just try to like enjoy the day. So that's what we did. That's what we're doing now. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. This way you don't miss any videos. 16% runs mint in there. So we'll run it again. How about that? That'll be my channel car right there. How about that? To me, a TGSR. Got one of those. How's it run? See you guys in the next video. Have a good night.